Welcome to the first recording of Sloosh and Box Sports Talk. Today with me I got the Sloosh.
What up?
And today we're going to give NFL opinions, talk the Army-Navy game, and our predictions for next week. So for the first segment of today's show, we're going to pick our favorite games from the weekend. My favorite game from the weekend was Titans-Dolphins game. Will Levis proved that he can be a franchise quarterback even though he had one interception. Tyreek Hill was out, so I mean everybody's going to say that didn't have, or the Dolphins weren't as good as they could have been, but that shows what one player out, a good player like Tyreek Hill can do. And since he was on the Chiefs, you can show how underutilized he was compared to what Mike McDaniel's using him in Miami. Sloosh, what was your favorite game of the week?
First off, fuck you about that Tyreek Hill comment. But yeah, man. I ain't going front. That Chiefs and Bills game was honestly a pretty good one. It didn't end how I wanted it to, but you know, unfortunately, that some bitch had to end in a Bills victory. But you know, I can't claim that as my favorite game last week because you know Chiefs didn't win, so they're getting banished. You know what I'm saying? They're getting banished from the house for the week. But the Bears and Lions game, that was a mighty shocker to me and you know. My family, my uncle was a Bears fan. I had to call him and congratulate him like he won it himself. Because it's been hard for the Bears this week with, 5 wins. We started off the season like 1-7 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a tough start.
It was a really tough start.
Plus the Lions looked so hot to start out, and then they lost to the Packers on Thanksgiving. I think they lost last week, and then they lose to the Bears this week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're the same old Lions, and they're not the brand new Dan Campbell Lions.
I think the Lions are just going to stay. They're cursed, man. Detroit's just cursed.
Yeah, man. They had the Barry Sanders curse, and they had the Megatron curse.
Mm-hmm.
And now the NFL says they can't have a live lion on the sideline, so that's another curse they got going on. So, same old Lions, man.
Same old Lions.
So, with you being a Chiefs fan, what do you think the state of the Chiefs are right now?
This might actually have to be our rebuild year.
You think this is a rebuild year?
Yeah. Like, the way things are looking now, it's not like, you know, we can't just keep bombing it up in the air and like, oh yeah, they'll come down with it. No, because that actually takes time to acquire. And like, you know, not having Tyreek who can just like outrun everybody the whole time and just like slightly look over his shoulder and bam, it's right there. No, it's like, dang, I gotta beat this dude. Oh, he's still here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that with the Packers Hail Mary game against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
He threw the Hail Mary down there, and they knew Travis Kelce was probably the only guy who was going to come down with it, so they took him completely out of the play and knocked his ass out of the play.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could be right. I think the Chiefs still make the playoffs, whether it's a wild card spot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll make the playoffs.
But I don't know how far they make a run in the playoffs.
Yeah. Seeing
all the good teams, but there's also a lot of inconsistency in the AFC right now, so who really knows what's going to happen in the playoffs? I mean, the Steelers might sneak in and win a playoff game. We never know.
Never know.
Especially with Kenny Pickett if he gets back. So me being a Broncos fan, the state of the Broncos is the Broncos are back.
They're back?
They're back.
They're back.
I mean, we beat the Chiefs, went on a run. We lost last week, which was kind of a bummer. But, you know, the Houston Texans are strong, even though C.J. Stroud is hurt now with a concussion. He should be back this week or next. I think he got hurt this last weekend, so he'll be back probably next week. But I think the Broncos are back. We play the Lions in Detroit. So
dog walk.
We might. I mean, they have a really good chance to play out because then we play New England and then I think we play the Raiders. So we have a chance to win out and maybe get a wild card spot, especially with C.J. Stroud being out. But as a long-term solution, I don't think Russell Wilson's the guy. And even if part of me wants us to make the playoffs just so I can say, hey, we made the playoffs this year, but another part of me wants to say, hey, let's lose these games and get a higher draft pick. Maybe we pick up a late first round Caleb Williams or a Drake May or the kid out of LSU just won the Heisman
Jalen Daniels.
Yeah, Jalen Daniels, who some people don't think he's even going to be a first round quarterback, but I don't think Russell Wilson's the future guy by any means.
Is it Jalen or Jaden?
I don't know. The next segment we're going to talk about is, are the Cowboys really them boys this year?
Yeah, I'm always a firm believer that the Cowboys are just really good at beating up on shitty teams. But with the this last week's game with the Eagles, they might actually be them boys this year. Like, holy shit. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we said that Dak Prescott's rookie year, and then they had the first round bye and everything, which looking like they have a really good chance to get this year, even though San Francisco, I think, has it now since the Eagles lost to both San Francisco and Dallas. But I think that Dallas gets in the playoffs, but I don't know if they beat San Francisco. San Francisco is just...
It's a powerhouse.
It's a powerhouse, man. But we also see what happens when they lose somebody out of their system. I don't think... Trent Williams is the best offensive tackle in the league, in my opinion. But I think he doesn't play that big of a role. Like, if he's out, I think they still do it with Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel.
They'll just throw Christian McCaffrey at left tackle. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Or Deebo Samuel. They could put Juszczyk at left tackle. I mean, that dude's a utility player. He does about everything. But I think the Cowboys, they might be them boys this year. But I also don't know if Dak Prescott can perform in high-pressure playoff football because he hasn't proved it to us yet. Even though he did beat Tom Brady last year, gave Tom Brady his final playoff loss of his NFL career.
To the goddamn Cowboys.
To the Cowboys.
Cowgirls.
Now, let's talk about who our MVP favorites are. My MVP favorite this year is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has 116 QBR. He has 252 completions, 3,553 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And that's with a lull in the middle when he was missing Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. I don't think they all missed the same amount of time, but I think Brock Purdy's the guy, and everybody says he's a system quarterback. And that might be true, but I think any quarterback would thrive in the Shanahan system, the West Coast offense. And he also has, you got to think he's still Christian McCaffrey's behind him. So, I mean, that guy, we saw him play quarterback last year. He's not the best quarterback in the world, but I think Brock Purdy wins the MVP this year, unless something crazy happens. But that's my opinion. Who's your MVP favorite this year?
I'm actually kind of betting on something crazy to happen. Not really crazy, but like has Dak. Like it's just kind of crazy actually seeing Dak Prescott in the NFL. Like, oh shit, this might actually be his year. You know what I'm saying? To be a superstar quarterback in the league nowadays is just like, oh, well, like anybody can kind of do that. Like even Kenny Pickett is like kind of a big name in some households. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like as short as time as it did for Brock Purdy to get his name up there, like holy shit. But yeah, man, I think Dak actually might have it in the bag this year.
Especially with all the Cowboy fans out there that are gonna push for him. I think Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback, and I think McCarthy really focuses his offense or like puts it towards Dak, modifies it for him.
Yeah.
Kind of like Kyle Shanahan does for his, but also it's the West Coast offense. But I think Dak Prescott has really had a really good MVP case this year, so we'll just see what happens in the end.
Next up, we got Super Bowl pick favorites. Now, I'm kind of a big fan of the theory of the color scheme shit on the logos. Yeah, so this year's like red and purple. So I was hoping, in my heart of hearts, that it would be Kansas City and then, the matchup against fucking Park Thuggins, the Vikings, you know what I'm saying?
I think if Kirk Cousins doesn't tear his Achilles, I think they're still in it. I think that's a matchup actually happening.
Nah. I can see them both getting taken out of the wild card. Because, I was having that thought at, fucking week 5. Things have gone downhill since then. But, actually, yeah, thinking about it now, I'm thinking Ravens and 49ers this year. I know I did say Dak Prescott would be the season MVP and whatever, but, I don't think he might get knocked out of the playoffs more than likely.
Yeah. The Ravens do look really good. I mean, we saw the Rams gave him a tough game, but it was rainy and cold. But I think my Super Bowl picks for this year are going to be the 49ers. And, I mean, I don't really know who to pick out of the AFC. It's so inconsistent. Everybody, the Ravens are really the only team that's been consistently good all year, because other teams have seemed like they had their ups and downs all year. So, and the Ravens look pretty, I mean, Lamar Jackson running that offense. Even though they lost J.K. Dobbins, they got the Gus Bus back there.
They still got market injuries?
Yeah, I know Mark Andrews got hurt.
Oh yeah,
like big time.
Yeah.
But
I was watching that game. Couldn't think about it.
yeah, I mean it was a terrible injury too. It was nasty. But I think the Dolphins make a late push if they somehow don't have to go anywhere too cold for the playoffs. I think that they make a Super Bowl push. They play the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and then you get two really schemed offenses going against each other with stacked defenses.
That'd be a slugfest.
It would be, and you got to think the Dolphins, even though they lost Jalen Phillips to an Achilles tear, their defense is still really good, and they still have like Jalen Ramsey, even though he did get murdered last night by Will Levis. But I mean, that's gonna happen when you're going against a 225 quarterback.
That's football, baby. That's football.
That's how it goes. But I think the Dolphins and 49ers would be a good Super Bowl matchup, and I can see both of them going all the way this year.
The coast to coast bowl.
The next thing we should talk about is, are the Patriots parting way with Bill Belichick at the end of the year?
I think they are.
I mean, the report came out. I mean, I think it's MLA Football or something, that they're not like the most reliable source, but they said it. But then you see Bill Belichick today getting interviewed by the media, and he says we're focusing on the Chiefs every time somebody throws something at him about that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. I mean, Bill Belichick, not the winningest coach, but like us growing up watching Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
He's caused so much goddamn
That's
pain.
what I'm saying. Like I remember watching the Broncos play him in the Super Bowl, or not the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Playing him in the AFC Championship game, and I was sweating the whole time because I knew Peyton Manning was good and I knew our offense was really good. But oh my God, man, I was like, God damn. But if Bill Belichick does leave, I think a really good place for him to go, because he's not done in the NFL. I mean,
no, he's not.
He's not gonna walk away, and there's gonna be teams that want him. I think he goes to the Chargers with Justin Herbert, because he goes there to the Chargers. He's on the West Coast. Justin Herbert is a really good quarterback who everybody talks crap on all the time.
Then the league will actually be competition. Not the league, but the conference would actually be like AFC West. That would be straight competition.
AFC
That's
West would be sad,
that would be like modern day AFC North, like the AFC North in the goddamn 70s and 80s.
Yeah, it'd be crazy, because you got to think Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid will always be a force to reckon with, no matter who his weapons are.
Yeah.
The Broncos are figuring it out, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders, who knows what's going on there? They fired their coach earlier this year, so
they fired their coach and somehow got better off that.
I mean, last time they fired John Gruden, they got better after they fired him.
Yeah.
So maybe the Raiders just need to hire some guy and then fire him 3 weeks in and then go to the Super Bowl every year.
It should just be a community team.
A community.
You know what I'm saying? Ran by the community.
I mean, Las Vegas would be a crazy community to have coaches come coach at.
Yeah, but coaches can't win in Las Vegas, so the people have to, bro.
But yeah, I think I could see Bill Belichick going there. And
actually, I could see Bill Belichick going to the Raiders, since his old boy Tom he's partial owner of them fuckers now.
I mean, if there's one guy I think who could genuinely talk Tom Brady, maybe not coming completely out of retirement, but coming and being a quarterback's coach or an offensive coordinator, it would be Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
To get him back involved in football, even though he did sign that deal with, Fox, to come be a commentator, but Bill Belichick, I think, could pull some strings and get Tom Brady to come be his.
Yeah.
Alright, so now let's go over this week's picks. For Thursday Night Football, we have the 5-8 Chargers versus the 5-8 Raiders, an AFC West matchup on Prime Video. Who do you think's gonna pull that one out?
Raiders.
You think the Raiders got that one?
Yeah.
I don't know. Justin Herbert going down and Easton Stick being announced as the quarterback. I mean, O'Connell looks like Farva from Super Troopers. So I'm gonna pick the Raiders for this week. And on Saturday, we have a couple games this week. We have the Broncos and Lions on NFL Network at 7:15 p.m. I'm going to pick the Broncos. Broncos are looking really good. The Lions have been on a slide. Cortland Sutton, we've seen Russell Wilson just throw the ball down the field, and he's like, fuck it. Cortland Sutton's down there somewhere, and he catches it. He's done that multiple weeks in a row now.
Yeah. One factor I like to throw in with, timing of the games and shit is, the timing. It's a primetime game. Jared Goff in primetime, I don't know. It's just like, dang, I gotta go off now.
I mean, we can't forget about the Chiefs-Rams game on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, but that's ingrained in my brain, man. I remember coming home watching that from school, man.
Yeah, it was a crazy game.
Yeah, but that's at 7:15 primetime. Then same time we got Steelers and Colts. Now they are both also 7-6.
Yeah, I don't know. They're both in wild card contention, so they're both making a good playoff push. But I think I'm gonna pick the Colts. Gardner Minshew. I've always liked Gardner Minshew. I remember watching him play at Washington State, and I think Gardner Minshew's he's not that guy, but he's a guy that can get him to the playoffs. So I'm gonna pick the 7-6 Colts over the Steelers.
I might have to take Steelers on this one, man. I think is his name Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mike Tomlin's gonna. Oh, yeah, it's something about him, man. He's only missed the playoffs 4 years out of the 17 years he's been coaching.
And he's never had a losing season.
Yeah, he's never had a losing season. He's that dog.
He really is.
He's the NFL definition of it's alright.
The next game on Saturday is gonna be the Vikings and Bengals. Both
that big noon, dude.
Both are 7-6. Both with backup quarterbacks. Josh Dobbs got benched for Nick Mullins. And the Bengals' backup quarterback has been just totally balling out. He used to be on that QB1 show on Netflix. They talked about him in high school. I remember watching it. So I don't know who to pick, but I think I'm gonna go with the Bengals on this one, just because they're an AFC team and I have AFC biased.
I don't know, man. The Vikes just came off a big blowout win. Vikes are honestly my
slugfest.
If they're not my second, yeah, it's gonna be a slug. I'm talking like this is gonna be the highest scored NFL game in history, dude. But my second team, if not my third team, is the Vikes. So I want to pick the Vikes on this, but like, they be struggling.
They do be struggling.
They be struggling. So I think I'm gonna have to take the Bengals on this one.
All right, so let's do with Jets Dolphins. Jets are 5-8. Zach Wilson was the AFC Player of the Week on offense, and the Dolphins coming off loss to the Titans on Monday Night Football. I think the Dolphins bounce back in a strong way. I think Zach Wilson reverts to his old self, and I think the Dolphins get the win.
The Jets did talk straight to Zach Wilson and told him he's being traded after the season. So he might want to sabotage these games, or he's going to have to just, ball out.
Yeah. Either way.
Also being a conference match, or a division match, whatever, I'm going to say it's going to be the Jets.
You think the Jets are going to pull it out, huh?
Yep.
Okay, next game. Texans-Titans, another divisional matchup. Texans without C.J. Stroud at 7-4. The Titans win Monday Night Football on 5-8. I say the Titans ride this momentum with the back. I mean, Davis Mills, he was kind of that guy for a couple years with no weapons, but I think Will Levis and the Titans, Derrick Henry looked like old Derrick Henry last night, so I'm going to pick the Titans to win.
Yeah, I can follow you on that one. I don't really got nothing to say about that one.
Alright, so the next noon game we're going to talk about is the Buccaneers and Packers. The Buccaneers they're both 6-7. I feel like the Buccaneers are super inconsistent this year.
But they got Baker Mayfield.
So Baker Mayfield can turn it on at any point. He just got to consistently turn it on.
Yeah.
And the Packers have also looked really good lately.
Fuck the Packers, man.
I mean, they did do A-Rod dirty.
And they did, yep.
But I think I'm going to pick the Packers in this game. The Packers have looked really good. They're making a late playoff push. So I'm picking the 6-7 Packers.
I don't know why. I really like Baker Mayfield. Yeah, in some parts he was inconsistent, but there's sightings of a peak Baker Mayfield for 5 weeks every year.
Oklahoma Baker Mayfield comes back out every once in a while.
Yeah, man. No thug sauce in the other team and shit.
Okay, next game is Giants and Saints. I mean, the
Giants are coming off a win, though.
They're coming off a win, and their quarterback, I can't say his last name right.
DeVito?
Yeah, DeVito.
You can't say DeVito?
I didn't want to mispronounce it. I don't want the mob coming after me. Did you see his agent last night on Monday Night Football?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to pick the Giants just because they're riding this wave. Saquon Barkley's looking good, and DeVito's out there balling out like a first-round pick when he's an undrafted dude or a late-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love Danny DeVito, and I know they're not really in any shape or form, I hope. But, yeah, I want to pick Giants.
The next game, a Sloosh Fest. Falcons at 6-7 versus the 1-12 Panthers.
Oh, wow.
I'm picking the Falcons because the Panthers are 1-12, and I think they just continue to give the Bears that first round pick no matter what happens.
I think you're a hater. I'm gonna have to go with the Panthers on this one, man.
Okay, that's an interesting pick there. Next game at
I should have
noon.
been writing these picks down just in case.
We can listen to it. The next pick would be Bears and Browns.
Oh,
We want to talk about. I think Joe Flacco with the Browns are better than Deshaun Watson. Joe Flacco looks like Joe Flacco that won Super Bowls, man. So
Super Bowls.
Hey, man, I don't know how many he won,
He
but
won one.
Joe Flacco's that guy.
Yeah.
So I'm picking Joe Flacco with the 8-5 Browns over the 5-8 Bears.
I think.
Even
that
though
was a
Justin Fields
fluke.
does look good.
I think it was a fluke, and Justin Fields is gonna show him how to run and sling this motherfucker. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Bear down.
What? Oh, yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah. Next noon game is the Chiefs and Patriots. I think Bill Belichick gets Andy Reid one last time with New England and beats the Chiefs at noon on Fox. Even though the Patriots haven't looked good, I think Bill Belichick has a scheme to stop Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, especially now that he only has to worry about TK.
Yeah, I'm saying this with like 97% surety, if that's even a word, surety. Assures, I don't know. But yeah, Chiefs are gonna win, but that 3% is also like, it's Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? The way the Chiefs playing right now, I'm not sure we're gonna be able to get this out.
I don't know, man. Let's go to a 305 matchup. The Commanders and Rams. The Commanders 4-9. The Rams 6-7. Rams losing overtime last week to the Ravens. Cold game. Matthew Stafford never liked the cold, even though he played in Detroit in the Dome. But I think I'm going to pick the Rams in this game. I think the Rams are coming on. Puka Nakua's been looking good. Cooper Kupp's giving flashes back. And there's always Aaron Donald. There was a clip last week. Aaron Donald got quadruple team. There was a tight end and 3 offensive linemen blocking the dude. So, I mean, I'm going to pick the Rams because they're the Rams. Yeah. Matthew Stafford, and you can't ever count out Aaron Donald no matter what's happening.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Aaron Donald, man. Let's go to a 305 matchup, 49ers and Cardinals. 49ers are 10-3, Cardinals are 3-10, and
yeah, you already know.
The 49ers have looked so good, but I'm gonna go with a crazy pick here, and I think this might be a trap game for the 49ers. They go in, they're thinking it's gonna be an easy win, and Kyler Murray somehow pulls it off, because I don't think this weekend's a double XP weekend. That was last weekend, so I think Kyler Murray, they pull it off in a really low-scoring game, and the Cardinals win by 1. They beat the 49ers. NFC West is crazy, man.
I think you're a liar. 49ers are going to whoop them, dude. Simple as that. I don't know.
Let's go.
Moving on to 325, we got Cowboys and Bills. Cowboys, they on a hot streak? I don't know. Well, they beat the Eagles. I call that a hot streak. Shit.
Yeah.
But they're sitting at 10-3, and the Bills just coming off a win, too, against the Chiefs at 7-6.
Let me look at where this game is being played at, because I feel like that really determines it.
It's in Buffalo.
I think Buffalo wins. Buffalo just beat the Chiefs. They're getting their moxie back. Josh Allen's starting to play good again.
Josh Allen is Josh Allen.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Josh Allen, he might not have good weeks, but I don't think there's any time that you want to play against Josh Allen, no matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah.
The Cowboys do look good, but I think the Bills beat them in Buffalo this week. Our Sunday night football matchup would be Ravens and Jags. I'm going to pick the Ravens. The Ravens have been the most complete team I've seen this year.
Is T-Law back in?
I don't know if T-Law's back yet or not. I don't think they've announced it. But if he is, it's going to be a better game if T-Law's back. But
well, if T-Law's in there, they got that in the bag. But, if he ain't, Ravens got it.
I think the Ravens.
I'm going to say Jags.
Okay. So our Monday night football matchup for this week is going to be the Eagles and Seahawks.
The Bird Bowl.
The Bird Bowl. I don't know if there's going to be a Manny cast this week or not. I hope there is. Because if there's a Manny cast, you got to watch it. But
my brother's, whenever you watch Monday Night Football, that's the only showing of it that he watches.
That's the only thing I watch.
Shout out to Manning Brothers, man.
I think I'm going to I think I'm going to pick the Eagles this week. Eagles lost last week, was a tough loss, but I think they get it done against the Seahawks. Seahawks have been inconsistent this year. Geno Smith, we all thought he was the next guy, but I don't really think he's the next guy.
What?
He's a bridge quarterback.
What?
I think they need to draft a new quarterback this year and next year, and let's get a new quarterback in there. I think Pete Carroll's also at the end of his rope.
What?
I mean, Pete Carroll, I did see him slinging it earlier this year in practice, so maybe I should take that back. So, but I don't know. I take the Eagles this week.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles too. The Seahawks, the only reason I got respect for them is because of, 5th grade Super Bowl. Or no, 4th grade Super Bowl.
I won't talk about it.
Yeah, no, 5th grade was the interception. But, I don't know. Like, being a Chiefs fan, but, then seeing the Seahawks ball out like that, you're like, dang, man, I got some hope for y'all, for real. Be humble like that. And the Seahawks was also the only team I was, actually losing against in Madden during, the superstar mode or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they got it. No, I can't say that because I just said the Eagles got it.
Yeah, you got to respect the
They're
Seahawks.
both birds, man. One of them's going to win. How about that?
All right, so let's roll on. Let's finish this up. What's your favorite game from this week?
Favorite game?
Yeah. Most game you're most excited to watch? If we get it with this crazy-ass market we get in.
I feel like that Broncos and Lions one's going to be a good one. Depending, both their situations.
Yeah, it depends on who shows up.
Yeah.
I don't have NFL Network, though, so I won't be able to watch it.
I got Sunday ticket. You want to come over?
I might have to. But I think the game I'm most excited for is going to be the Cowboys and Bills game. Because the Bills, if they can beat the Cowboys, that'll put them at 8-6, and then they can make a real playoff push here. And I could see the Bills making a deep playoff run because, like I said, Josh Allen is kind of that guy. So, any other takes you'd like to give?
Not at the moment.
All right, so this will wrap up the first ever Sloosh and Box Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back next week with more picks.
Peace.